YouTube, Tara Patricia here. Welcome to my channel. As you know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so that's our topic for today. Mental health and your mind. Has anyone ever said to you, you're out of your mind? And if they have, great, you're halfway there.
It's good to be alive right about now.
Mental health awareness is actually a topic that's very close to my heart. I've been both on the couch receiving therapy and on the chair giving it. And what I've noticed over time through all of my experience in education is the key to decreasing stress and increasing your contentment is accepting the job of the mind and the soul and shifting appropriately. So we hear a lot about our thoughts and our minds and our emotions and how those all play together. But what we don't hear a lot about is actually the job of the mind and the job of the soul and how we can shift. You see, the mind cannot come up with anything new. It always is pulling from past experiences that it's already had. It can only pull from the thought patternings that you have already experienced. For instance, pretend I say to you right now, think of an animal. Make up a brand new animal that you've never ever seen ever before. Go ahead, do it. What happens, it's just like a computer. Your mind starts going through all the animals that it's experienced in its whole entire life, and it starts pulling bits and pieces of each little animal, trying to put those together to create a new animal. But it cannot go beyond any animals it has not experienced, because that's not the job of the mind. The mind is meant to interact with the thought patternings it has already received and experienced. Where we begin to really go into new things is when we leave our mind and we leave that thought patterning that it knows, and we go into our heart or to our soul or to the core of our being, whatever you want to call it, to our imagination, wherever your creativity lies. When you go out of your mind and you go into that spot, that's when you really start expanding and shifting. And it's this allowance for something new, this I'm not going to hold myself in that thought patterning any longer. That's what really shifts us. That's what really gets us from one place to another. Because if not, even if we're trying to be positive and upbeat and do the affirmations and everything we possibly can in our own power to make things happen in a positive way, if we don't leave that one particular mindset or that thought patterning, it's just not going to happen for us. I'll give you an example. Let's think about our finances. We've all been there. Moments where we don't have what we thought we should have or what we would really like to have in our bank account. So we recognize at some point in time, hey, I'm going down a kind of a slippery slope here. I'm going to change the way I think about all of this. And I'm going to become positive. And I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to work really hard because I'm going to make this change. That in itself is a shift, but it's a shift within the mind. See, it's better than saying, oh, you know what? I'm going to get up, I'm going to just put on my boots and I'm going to work really hard because I'm just so tired of being poor all the time. Well, that clearly you're still in lack. Everyone can see that. And if you come from lack, it doesn't matter what your actions are, you stay in lack. But if you shift it a little bit and you still are positive and you wake up and you say, you know what, today I'm going to just get out there and I'm going to do my best and I'm going to have fun and I'm going to enjoy myself, and I know that I'm meant for financial security. And you get those mantras, you get those affirmations, and you start plugging them into your head and you repeat them again and again and again and again. And then it feels good right at the first start. But when things aren't quite working out, we usually lose all those mantras and affirmations. And what's happened there is we've gone into our thought space and we're trying to convince our minds of a new thought. But in our heart, in our core, it's not connecting correctly. Because there's something in the back of us that's saying, yeah, well, that's all nice and good, but you still don't have very much in your bank account. And so you start getting these fights that fight against each other, because remember, the mind can only be in what it has experienced. So you go about your way and you keep telling yourself positive things, positive things, positive things, but there's something in the back of your mind, something, that voice in the back of your head that's telling you differently. And so what happens then is the mind picks up on this because we have that heart-mind connection. And so then the mind starts judging. And in the judgment, it brings us right back in to thought patterns, into lack. And when we go back in to the same thought patternings that the mind already knows, we're never going to get to a new place, ever. It just doesn't matter how positive, how dedicated, how anything. Because again, you're going from the same thought patterns, the same experiences, even though it's subconsciously. That's still energetically where you are. So what do we do then? How do we jump out of this kind of vicious cycle that our heart and mind has been taught? Because this is what we've learned. This is what our parents knew. This is what our grandparents knew. This is what society knows. This is what everybody knows to do. So it's nobody's fault. No harm, no foul, right? It's just that we've learned this, and so then we continue to do it. But what do we do now? We go, okay, this kind of makes sense. I get it. Yeah, I've kind of felt that it's a little off, but I didn't know what to do about it. So the biggest thing for that is the release of judgment and just allowing for life to unfold. Now, judgment, that's a whole nother video. We definitely have a lot of judgments consciously and unconsciously on our thought patternings. But just for now, we'll just say the release of judgment and allowing yourself to get to a neutral place if you can't get to a good place. Let's go back to our example of finances. So you're sitting there and you're saying, I really want more money. I know I deserve more money. I know my worth. I know that I was not meant to be here and just never enjoy myself. I know that, but I can't seem to get out of it. So in our example, you go through and you make these positive affirmations or these new steps or formulate these new ideas, these new ways that you're going to go about doing things. But all along, you're telling yourself, consciously or unconsciously, that something's wrong, and that's why you have to change it. You see, that's where you're still in lack. Because whenever you think something's wrong, that means you're coming from lack. So then you're going to say to me, well, what am I supposed to do? I have no money in my bank account. What do you want me to just wake up one day and magically be rich? I don't get it. What am I supposed to do? Well, that's when you go to someplace neutral in your mindset. You say to yourself, you know what? I know that somehow or another, things have been provided for me along the way. I have had some rough patches, maybe really super rough patches, but somehow, some way, things were provided for me. And so then maybe all you can do in this moment is you can get to that place of neutrality and you can say, you know what? I know that things will be provided for me. I do this, I do that, and the other, that's fine. But eventually, somehow, life will take care of me. And if you can connect to that, then you're in more of a neutral place. Now you're not coming from lack. Now you're coming from a place of allowance, allowing for things to flow easily through you. And this is the biggest change. This is the most important piece, because what this does is it gets you out of your old thought patternings. It gets you out of your mind. So therefore, you can open to allowance and open to new things coming in. So you say to yourself, okay, I see I have very limited funds right now. That's okay. I don't like it because I have to be honest with myself. But you know what? I'm going to say that it is okay that it's where I am. It's okay that I don't like it. It's okay that I don't have money. It's okay that things are tough right now. Because what you're doing is you're releasing judgment. And you're going to say, I still love myself in all of this. I still love myself and I still believe in myself. So I'm just going to go about today and I'm just going to say, you know what? Yes, I have very limited funds. Yes, I don't know where the money's coming from to pay this bill or to get this food. And this is tough. This is tough because we immediately want to go into our minds and get very anxious over it. But if you can get to a place of neutrality and release it and say, I will be okay. No, matter of fact, I am okay. Right here, right now, I am okay. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to do the best that I know how to do today. And I'm going to trust that the universe or God or the world or life, however it feels right to you, whatever words work for you in your heart space, you say, I'm going to allow for that to come to me today. That has taken you completely out of your mind space and has put you into a space of openness, ready to shift and to go into brand new territory. And when you get into that new space of allowance, that is where great mental health can really begin to flourish. Okay, y'all, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Come back next Friday so we can talk some more. And you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, or go to my website, InnerPathCoachingServices.com, for more information about me and to see my blogs. And that, my friends, is how we shift.
It's good to be alive right about now.